Our coverage of Iran's attack on Israel, dozens of explosions over Israeli skies, as the IDF and the U.S. military work to intercept drone strikes. Iran has already said this is in direct response to an Israeli attack on Iran's embassy in Syria 2 weeks ago, and that as far as they're concerned, the retaliation has concluded.
But just like many have seen or wondering since the war in Gaza started, will this lead to a wider conflict? Joining us live now is Congressman John Garamendi, who represents part of Contra Costa and Solano counties. He's also on the House Armed Forces Committee. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I wanted to start off by asking you that an attack this weekend was not a surprise to Israel or our government. Is this the type of force that you expected to see?
We knew there would be some sort of an attack. I don't believe we thought it would be a direct attack in such a significant way against Israel itself. It clearly was not a tit for tat. Israel did attack the consulate office in Syria about a week and a half ago and killed 2, 3, 4 generals. And this seems to be a response to that, far greater, far more serious, and really the first time in which Iran has directly attacked Israel. Now, Iran's proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, and others, and the Houthis, have attacked Israel repeatedly and also attacked the United States. And we're now seeing the United States directly defending Israel by trying and successfully knocking some of these drones and some of these missiles out of the sky. It is a very, very significant escalation in every conceivable way. Is it over? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I think Israel is going to, in one way or another, retaliate against this all-out attack that Iran has placed on Israel.
Well, all right. If that happens, where does it all end?
Well, that's always the question, isn't it? Where does this end?
I mean, there are 33,000 dead Palestinians. The hostages are still being held. This is no doubt an act of escalation. And if it's just back and forth, how worried are you that this escalates into something that just goes out of control?
I am very, very worried. If you consider what's happened this last year, you don't need to begin with October the 7th, but even before that, there were direct attacks on the United States. After October 7th, there have been many, many more attacks on the United States, on our allies, and certainly on Israel. Israel's response in Gaza has been horrific. 30,000 or more people have been killed, half of them children. And that is not yet settled. So we're looking at a situation that is right now spiraling, not out of control, but certainly it's escalatory. How far will this go? Hopefully, everybody will take a look and say, oh my God, how far will this go? A wide open Middle East war, sucking more and more countries into it? It's entirely possible. I know the president and his security advisors and his Secretary of State have been working double time trying to prevent what is actually happening tonight. That is an all-out attack by Iran directly against Israel. Obviously, that didn't succeed. I am certain that diplomatic efforts and communiques are flashing back and forth across the entire region. Will Saudi Arabia, where are they in this? They've never been friendly to Iran. They've reached out to Iran a little bit recently. They've also reached out to Israel, trying to develop on the Abraham Accords. So it's very, very unsettled. Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Turkey, Egypt, all of the countries in that area are, in one way or another, engaged in this issue tonight. We haven't heard. We do know that Jordan and Iraq have made their airspace available for defensive purposes. That is for Israel and the United States to defend. we'll see where it goes from here.
Okay, well,
But I'm
Congressman, just to reiterate what you had said, as Iran has already said that as far as it's concerned, I mean, just to boil it down, you bombed us, we bombed you, we consider the matter at a close. You don't think Israel's going to look at it that way?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I do not at all. I think you're looking at a significant escalation in the tit for tat. Bombing one building is one thing. Sending 200 missiles, drones into a country is really quite something else. Now, will it settle down? We would hope so. Iran seems to say, "Oh, we don't want any more." Well, I'm not so sure Israel says that, because I'm quite certain Israel says, nobody can directly attack us and expect us to do nothing about it. And we saw that directly when Israel was attacked by Hamas. The result of that is a horrific war in Gaza. Will this new attack by Iran directly against Israel result in Israel coming back with another attack on Iran? I'm afraid they will, unless the diplomats in some way are able to settle this down.
Right.
I'm dubious.
Right. Well, I think the world is as well, especially at the question of where will it all end, and there are some frightening answers to that question. But for clarifying some of it, Congressman John Garamendi joining us live. Congressman, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet.